40-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown.
And we got to thank God every minute of every day. Y'all know what time it is, man. Beautiful Wednesday. In the huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. And he is Joe Hamilton, the man, the myth, the legend. South Carolina finest. One of Georgia Tech's greatest ever. Second in the Heisman competition in 1999. Heisman runner-up, and he should have won it. It should have been his. But good morning to all of y'all, and thank y'all for being here. How you doing, Joe? What's up with you today, sir?
Man, I'm doing outstanding, brother. I'm telling you, I'm doing very, very good, man. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And what I mean,
feel it
there you go.
Coming in the air tonight. Yes, sir. Oh, Lord.
We very few games in college I jumped out or I ran out on that football field at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Grant Field without hearing that sound. Yeah, I had some other lead-up sounds. I had some other sounds that I rode the bus with and get you fired up to play. But my pregame ritual was not complete until I jogged on that field, put my headsets down. When you huddling up, that was the last thing I heard, man. I'm doing outstanding, brother. And when I say I can feel it, the green grass, we've been waiting. It's the off season since the Super Bowl. If you're watching some Canadian football, like I've been watching this on TSN.
You watch CFL, Joe?
That's scheduled, Ryan. That's scheduled, Stu. If it's on passing by an idle Tuesday night and you see it up there, I'll completely stay on that channel and just get the football in me, especially now. And that's what's going on. So, man, baseball, basketball, they have done their due diligence. Yeah. They've hold the fork down to keep us entertained somewhat, but move over. I smell the green grass. I'm doing outstanding, brother. How are you?
Before we get into In the Huddle with Joe Ham and talk about a litany of topics that we've got set up for you guys today, I want to tell you something that's funny. I'm very excited because there's like 2 weeks before school starts back. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows I'm a full-time dad. You know, I'm the chauffeur. I'm the cheerleader while they're at practices and doing what they do. And I'm at tennis and piano. I'm beyond blessed to be able to do it, okay? But when the summertime comes, Joe, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, One Live Stu, Ryan Stewart. We'll get to the sports here in a second. When the summer comes, it's a time for, my kids will tell you, summer is for fun, swimming, ice cream, and trips. My kids will tell you that, okay? But as we get to the point where we're 2 weeks away from school being back, I can't start to tell you how elated I am that they're taking their butts back to school. I can't tell you how happy I am that in 2 weeks, from 7:30 to 3, it'll just be me, this house, and the dog. I'm excited about that. Now, that being said, travel soccer started practicing a few weeks ago. So the kids' schedules, at least Mason and Morgan's, has been very busy. This morning, about 7 o'clock, I take the dog out. Morgan wakes up and she goes, "Dad, do I have soccer today?" And I said, because usually she doesn't. She's got a tournament coming up. So I look at the schedule and I said, "Yes, baby, you have soccer today." She goes, "Oh, man, dang it, man." And I calm her down. I don't fuss at her, but I calm her down like, "Baby, you can't have that type of aggression and or attitude towards your work. School is work. Soccer is work. Tennis is work. You know, but if that's what you got to do for your work, you can't be discouraged when you realize you have to go to work. Even if you are, you got to keep it to yourself. You got to hold it in. That can be the energy that you display. You got to go and be willing to go do your work." Mm-hmm. I understand that. I understand. "Hey, can you close my door?" So I close the door. 2 hours later, I get a team snap notice. The whole team is on it. Coach facilitates conversations like that. The team
Yeah.
mom talks to the parents
Like a group
that.
me.
It's exactly like a group me. Okay, I'm on 30 of those. Come on in, mama. You can come on in. That's she must have heard me talking about her. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all, please excuse me. Yes, ma'am.
That's great stuff.
You're not you guys gotta read until 12. You're almost done. You got 53 more minutes. All right, close that door. All right, love you. Okay. So the team snap goes off. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what coach is talking about this early. I pull it up and it says this evening's practice has been canceled. When I tell you the excitement and the rush that ran through my body, and I'm like, yeah, but I just told her she shouldn't do that. Okay, so I knock on the door, go inside. I said, I got to show you something. She said, what is it? I said, a little while ago, I told you had practice, and I was covering up where it said canceled. I said, you see that? I told you had practice. Yes, sir, I know that. I'll be ready. I said, good, I'm proud of you, baby. And I slid my finger away like this, and she said, practice canceled. Oh, Dad, I don't have practice after all. Can you close that door?
No.
When I walk out and close the door, all I hear in the room 30 seconds later was, yes, all right.
Yeah. And I love both responses. I love both responses because the name of the game is be ready when practice starts. And I agree with everything that you said to her. That you cannot wear that on your sleeve.
No,
because I would be remiss, or you would be telling the untruth if we were to say that every practice we went to, we wanted to go.
Right.
Now, there's some practices you were fired up. My son just told me yesterday that they started, or they did, I can't really use the word, but old school Oklahoma. All right. So chocolate drills, the first time with pads. Those are some of the times that you went to practice very fired up. You went to practice excited. But most of the time when it's hot out, you don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like, and when we were at Georgia Tech and we walked down to Rose Bowl that, less than a mile, man, it was grudgery. But the whole thing about it is what you told your daughter. You told her, hey, don't wear it on your sleeve. You don't want to spread that amongst your teammates.
You got to do your work.
You get that, and when you get there, you better be ready to practice. You don't have to be ready or willing to before then, but please be ready when you get there. I love that. And you too, Stu. You didn't want to, you said, man, I got to take the practice. I got to drive around. And you're going to do that, not grudgingly, but you don't want to do it. You're not going to tell anybody you didn't want to do it.
Sir,
but when the time comes, you're going to do it.
There's 3 days out of the week where her and Mason have practices on the same day, except for 1 day out of the week. But at 6, from 6 to 7:30, she's in practice. And from 8 to 9:30, Mason's in practice. So my whole evening, after having a full day, is out there on the soccer fields where there's bugs and gnats and mosquitoes and heat and sun and ants, So I try not to complain. God has blessed us to be able to do it. But man, whenever you get a break from that schedule, it's a good feeling, man.
That's awesome, man.
Quick question before we get into In the Huddle with Joe Ham. You mentioned Skylar said that the tackling drills took place on yesterday. Yes. He's a quarterback. Do they go through the tackling drills also?
No, I've never been in one. I've been called a softie by my teammates, and I asked him when he got back, he was just handing it off. And you have to be very, very particular when you're a quarterback to talk trash during that time.
Right.
Because I loved Oklahoma drill. I knew it would set the tone. As soon as you stretch, this is George O'Leary, this is Coach Philip Morgan at Macedonia High School where I grew up at. As soon as you finish stretch, when you know it was pads day, first day of pads, Oklahoma drill is what you started out with. Whether it's one offensive lineman, one defensive lineman, a linebacker, and a running back, or three linemen, 3 defensive linemen, a linebacker, and a running back. You want physicality. You want nothing but physicality. Yes. And oh, by the way, as of 3 or 4 years ago, they outlawed Oklahoma.
You can't do it no more.
No, you can't even put it on your practice schedule because in high school and college, you have to submit your practice schedule. That has to be in writing. So
Right.
whatever period you have blocked off, it better have just, tackling or physical contact. It
Right.
couldn't be what y'all were doing. But no, quarterbacks always handed it off, Ryan. We said Hunt, we either tossed it to the wide receiver for them to run, or we handed it to the running backs. We didn't do it. No.
It's not a situation where I look at you guys like I look at the kickers. That's not the case. Because I look at the kickers with vengeance in my heart sometimes because they really don't practice. Some of them are used on scout team receiver. Some of them do this. Some of them do that. Some of them give people a look. But kickers, after their 2 or 3 periods, for the most part, they're done for the day. While we're in meetings all day long, for the most part, they outside reading the newspaper, walking around, taking naps in the training room, watching TV. So I don't look at quarterbacks like I look at kickers with disdain. But when it comes to the physicality of practicing, yeah, y'all don't get the blunt of what everybody else gets because y'all can't take those unnecessary hits.
Man, and it took my trash talking ability, my competitiveness with the defense, offense, a Keith Brooking, a Mike D, a Clemens, a Travaris Tillman, all those guys, because we would talk trash the day before, the night before in the locker room about what's going to happen tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're going to be physical. I'm going to score at least 2. How physical you are, because you can't wait till pads get on, because what we call it shells. You're a hero in shells. You're a hero in skeleton. You're a hero with no pads on. Wait till tomorrow. So I can't talk like that knowing that I'm not going to get hit. So it lessens my trash talk about physicality and being fired up. But I'm telling you, that sets the tone, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait. When Skylar does it, I told him now, because I want him to be more of an overall athlete. So I said, man, get in there a little bit. Want to get in there.
No, man, hell, are you crazy? Dad, are you crazy,
Dad? But what I said is sell Wolf tickets, because soon if you have any good coaches, they're not going to let you in there. Right. So act like you want to get in there. Act like you're tough. I'm next. And as soon as you get the ball, the coach says, what are you doing? Back up. Right. And then it's coming from the coaches and not you.
Not you. Play the game. Play the game. In the huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm sorry. I'm pushing the sports talk back just another tad. I want to share a few things with you real quick, okay?
Yes, sir.
This past weekend, our former teammate TJ Johnson had his be celebrated, not tolerated swim party at his home. That's the great Pat Bradford. That's the great Dan Witherspoon. Who's this, Joe? You remember him?
Yes. My good linebacker. Yeah, Jay Gill, man.
Yes, outside linebacker safety Jay Gill. Okay. The great Kurt McGee.
Oh, man. Love Kurt McGee. That's my left tackle.
I told that's Joe's blind side tackle. Absolutely. I told several people that when I saw Kurt, I took off running about 50 yards to go hug him because he dealt with an aneurysm over a year ago. So just to see him out there amongst the brothers and conversating, it was a blessing to see him. A couple more, Deshaun and Jimmy Clemens.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I got one more for you. The great Eric Billingsley.
Bill. And shout out to E. Bill. Not to say all those guys, especially Pat Bradford. That shout out to South Carolina, Georgetown, South Carolina.
Yep.
Oh, Pat Bradford, that's my man. But when you're dealing with E. Bill, one thing I absolutely love about E. Bill is that if you have something, he's going to show up.
He's going to be there.
If it's GT, if it's his brothers, former teammates, just in general, E. Bill will be there. Shout out to those boys, man.
E. Bill will be there. Traveled from Boca Raton, Florida to come to TJ's.
And shout out to TJ as well, man.
Be celebrated, not tolerated swim party. All right, in the huddle with your boys. One live stew, co-hosting with Joe. It is in the huddle with Joe Ham. We're going to talk about some sports. We sent some thoughts back and forth to each other, more so your thoughts than mine, because it is your show on this platform every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And we've got a good list of things to talk about. Very excited to talk to you about the Madden 99 overall ratings for players.
Madden Club, yeah, it's huge now.
I'm very excited to talk about that. But I think I'd be remiss if we didn't start with Deion Sanders. And Joe, for years, you and I have had 2 to 3 hours a week where we were debating, arguing, discussing, and talking Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, the coach. Deion Sanders coaching his kids. Deion Sanders at JSU. How dare Deion Sanders leave JSU and go to Colorado? The success he will have at Colorado. Will he succeed? Will he fail? How's he getting all these players out of the portal and thinking he's going to make them a team? I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum. So many things we've talked about. Before I give you any thoughts of my own, I want to open this floor up to you to share your thoughts on Deion Sanders being simply an inspiration. Truly a testament of resiliency and being available and being willing to let God use him however he sees fit. Joe, please share your thoughts on Deion and the situation that he's going through and how a couple of days ago at 1 o'clock, he did a press conference to tell the world about his situation.
My goodness, I could not wait to hear from Deion Sanders about what he was going through. I heard a little peeps and a little glimpse of his son, Deion Sanders Jr., talk about stay tuned for Deion's press conference. We know he went through something. We knew that Michael Irvin had went over to his house. We knew some different visitors went over to his house. Travis Hunter went at one point in time. We didn't know the extent of what Deion Sanders went through. When I heard that interview on Monday, it touched me so hard, deep, clean. It was clear this man is a man of conviction, Stu. He's a man of absolute conviction. When I say conviction, it's nothing fake. When you go, you can question Deion about his, flair, prime time, dancing, cockiness. Say whatever you say about him, but he's not changed on you. He's not changed on you coaching his sons. He's not changed on you going to the Hall of Fame. He's not changed on you at Jackson State. He didn't change on you at Colorado when he said, hey, I'm coming with Louis. I'm coming and Louis is coming with me. He did not change at all when he does his press conference, when he's kicking reporters and not answering questions, wearing shades. He hasn't changed. He's got 9 toes. The public knows about it. He's been on the sideline on a wheelchair, so to speak, or a knee chair, portable for the kids. Everything he's doing is for the kids. And to hold that back, and it touched my heart so much, Stu, when you hearing his son in the hospital room. Deion Sanders said his son didn't miss one day by his side, and where he wanted to put the camera down and not record and not post Deion in the hospital and step by step what they went through. Deion Sanders says, keep it going. I'll tell you why in a little bit. And then when Deion Sanders Jr.'s kind of figured it out that his dad is doing this for the people, to show men, get in contact, go to the doctor, get healing, get checked up. It wasn't that I went in the hospital for my bladder. It wasn't that I went in the hospital because I knew I'd had cancer. I was in the hospital dealing with something with my leg. I didn't know about this. And if I didn't get this done, it would not have happened. I would not have known about this cancer that was being expedited. So what I got from Deion Sanders, and I have nothing but respect, is not about him. You used to think about him being a me guy.
He's not.
It's not about him.
He's not.
He's convicted. He gave me chills, and he said, I'm God's man. He said, I'm God's man. And that's what really got me, Stu, because he's using it. He's using every ounce of his athletic ability, his platform, to pour into we thought it was all about his students. We thought it was all about his players and the student athletes and what they could really do in the football field, but it's about grown adults as well. He showed up as a man, as a mentor, as a coach, resilient. Shout out to Deion Sanders, man. It's just, and this is not even anything about X's and O's. No. This is about life and the example he set for me on Monday. I'm appreciative, my brother.
In the huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, One Life Stu, Ryan Stewart. I do have a few choice thoughts. I'm sure Doug and I will delve into this tomorrow. And I'll have more thoughts to share with them and with you guys. And thank y'all for coming tomorrow morning. And thank y'all for being here today. I hadn't heard that man complain at all. You said he had a toe removed. He has 2 toes removed. It's the big toe and the second toe next to the big toe. So he's only got 8 left. I haven't heard that man complain at all. He had these blood clots. Apparently, it's something that runs in his family because I think I've heard him mention his mom having these blood clots as well. He said that he's had so many surgeries that he can't even talk about how many. More surgeries off the field now than he had while he was playing his illustrious Hall of Fame career in college and in the National Football League.
I think he capped it off at 14 surgeries.
Okay. He says his calf looks like a shark has bitten out of it because of all the surgeries that he's had. And every time his son, while recording it, because like you said, Deion Jr., when Deion told him he wanted his son to record all of it, Deion Jr. is the one that does all the video. He runs the marketing department at Colorado. Deion told him he wanted his son to record all of it. And Deion Jr. was like, it was painful to do when I didn't want to do it.
Right.
I just wanted to be there to support him as his son. But I realized after he got to the point where he was beating this journey that it was pivotal for him to record it. This was how he was going to give God the glory.
Right.
And there's 2 or 3 times. I've seen a couple of videos already where Deion or someone else that was holding the camera for them or someone that was giving him a treatment to help him urinate because he's got this bag and he's got to use now, while dealing with that, I heard his son a couple of times be like, man, Dad, this is crazy. And all Deion would say was, but we're giving God the glory, right? Ain't nothing wrong, right? It could be worse, right? We're thanking God, right? While he's beat down in dealing with one of the worst things of his life. And while his son, who is by his side at his request, recording it so they can give God the glory, every time anyone made a negative comment or said, woe is me, or I can't believe you're dealing with this, Deion would correct them like, but God is good, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's cocky. He's cocky with God. He's got
arm that you can't see right now.
Well, I can see mine. I can see my goosebumps. Hey,
he's truly a man of God. And when you and I got into debate, and this is not about right or wrong, or this is not I told you so, we're not even going to go down that road. When you and I got into a debate 4 or 5 years ago about the significance of him, and if he would go to the National Football League, I said, his ministry is in college. I'm not saying he won't one day maybe be, I don't know, but his ministry, how he's saving souls and helping young men, it's being done in college.
You know what? Hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Right foot is going to piggyback off your thought.
This is in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm your boy One Life Stu, Ryan Stewart, co-hosting.
But what I saw on Monday, I could piggyback off of college, and he belongs in the pros because Monday wasn't just about college and his students in college and the impact in college. He impacted grown men.
I agree.
Grown men. Yeah, so I thought that he would not be. Yes,
we're grown.
Yeah,
we're grown.
Where I didn't think that his impact would be that significant in the pros. If he went there, I'm going to backpedal on that just a tad bit. So go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You're right. What we saw on Monday was transformational, not just for college, but for men in general.
Mm-hmm.
Making it known that as a black man, we need to go get seen at least once a year. I go twice a year. He used his platform to make sure people are getting checked out. He talked about the difficulty he has urinating right now.
Mm-hmm.
He told people, don't be surprised when you see a urinal on the side of the field or in the meeting room because I just can't control my bladder no more. I mean, he was 100% transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take y'all back to 20 years ago when Doug and I was traveling to the Super Bowl with the radio station. And we were on Radio Roll. And just about everybody in sports radio, every television show in sports radio, FS1, ESPN, all of them are in these venues for Super Bowl Roll and Radio Roll. We were still new to it. It was our first one or two. Deion was at the time working with the NFL Network. Of course, they had a huge setup there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he would come into Radio Roll, you could hear him the minute he hit the door. I'm sorry, y'all. Not doing any interviews. I'll be back tonight at 6:30 on the NFL Network set. But today, I only came to sit down with the stews. We'll be in the back with the stews. Y'all want to come? We'll be in the back with the stews. That wasn't about Deion. He was doing that for us. He was doing that for the black guys that don't get no love, that don't get no respect, that they put in the back corner of Super Bowl Roll so people probably wouldn't see us and hear from us. He brought a crowd to not come see Deion Sanders. His mission was to highlight the stews. So I'm going to say this again. I've said it several times on several platforms. He's the most unselfish guy I know. He is not an I kind of person.
And that's the thing, Stu. And that's the thing that I'm glad you said that. That's the thing that prime time, his college career, dancing in the end zone, how cocky he was and how he go about some things, being so confident. We kind of misconstrued that a little bit. We kind of saw him as playing a baseball game and a football game in the same day, doing the World Series. You know, how selfish is that? You know, being all about me. See, that was the perception. And I kind of fell into it a little bit thinking about it until I'm watching his actions and I'm watching him and I have to fall back. And he touched me so much that, man, what is this all about? And also, I want to say this to you. I constantly talk to my brother-in-law, Savon, and I wonder what is success, even when he signed he's top 5, top 6 in college paid, highest paid college coaches now. And I'm measuring him, what is the success for him at Colorado, right? And I quickly say, where's the Big 12 championship? What about national championships? I don't think that's the all-be-all with Deion Sanders and what he's doing at Colorado. Right. What is successful with Deion being at Colorado, I think goes a little bit beyond just championships, man. And you know me, for me to say that and being paid like he's being paid, you would like a championship to come here soon. Right. You would like for him to even make it in the college football playoff here soon or something on the football field. But, man, his calling is bigger than that, man. I must accept that.
One last part before we move on in the huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Life Stu, Ryan Stewart. Thank y'all for being here. Please continue to pass the word, and don't forget that the Stews will be live tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment. His kids just got drafted into the National Football League while he was dealing with bladder cancer. He said he was running back and forth to the hospital telling his kids that it was something with his foot.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to tell them about the cancer. He needed them to be focused on themselves. He wanted them to be focused on getting drafted. He wanted them to be focused on the questions and talking to the teams. He wanted them to have fun at their party. He wanted them to have a party. He wanted them to enjoy their experience. He was not going to allow cancer to get in the way of the experience he wanted his kids to have for their draft. No, woe is me. No, I can't believe he got drafted in the 5th round. As a matter of fact, Shador and Deion, after him getting drafted in the 5th round, all said what? All praises to God for me getting this opportunity.
No, man. That's Deion Sanders.
He should have been a first rounder. He was a bona fide first rounder. I don't know why he was whiteballed, but he didn't go in the first. second, third, or fourth. He went in the fifth. And when they put the camera in his face, all he did was. I just want a chance. That's the young men he's raising. We hear about Shiloh down in Tampa. Shiloh and Shador went early to their states' respective teams early to do what? To get in the community. To start galvanizing children in their area, to start giving back before football. This is the man that raised those two boys.
Yeah.
No excuses, straight conviction, giving God the glory throughout it all.
Shout out to Deion Sanders, man. Shout out to Deion Sanders. And shout out to the president of Colorado. Shout out to everybody that, had his back. My heart goes out to the people that scheduled camps to see Deion Sanders, and maybe they were seniors because he missed out on all those because he was going through that. Yeah. A lot of people had to sacrifice and went through things, and a big shout out to his inner circle because nobody knew anything. Nobody knew anything until 1:00 on Monday that when he had that press conference, except his immediate family, that it was a cancer on his bladder. My goodness, man.
Let's dig a little bit deeper than that. It wasn't 1:00 on Monday when everybody found out. He talked to the team on Sunday, and guess what? No one still found out. He told his entire team on Monday, and we still had to wait until, he told his entire team on Sunday. We still had to wait on Monday until he and his doctors told the world. After telling his team 24 hours earlier, no one sent out a tweet or a text. Ooh. TMZ still didn't find out. TMZ would have paid for that story. Big money. No.
Yeah.
No. They all protected their guy. He's a phenomenal dude, man. I'll never tell people the way you were talking about him a few years ago. I'll never tell people that.
All B-A-L-L. It was all ball. It was all ball.
You're right.
All ball.
This is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Last Two, Ryan Stewart. Thank y'all for pulling up and joining us here this Wednesday at 11 o'clock. We did not do a show last week. We both had things that had to be done, so we bumped it until this week. Let's get things started off following the Deion talk by talking about college football. Sir, week 1 is just about here. Kids are in camp. We got some very incredible matchups for week 1. Joe, let's talk about it, man. Share your thoughts about how football will be started and how incredible the lineup is. I believe it's Labor Day weekend, right?
Well, it's August 30th. I know the Yellow Jackets go out to Colorado and play the Buffs. Shout out to Brent King, what those guys are doing, and they're going to embark on a game that matters early. And that's what I want to kind of talk about, Stu, is that the games mattering early. That's a good matchup, Big 12, ACC. It wouldn't necessarily have national title, ramifications on that game. We don't anticipate, but who knows? But what about, Texas and Ohio State? I mean, opening week, not week 0. Week 0 starts on August the 23rd. That's when college football actually opens that weekend. But week 1 is considered the following week. And number 1 versus number 2, Texas, Ohio State. You got Alabama, FSU. Alabama is ranked number 10. FSU, that's more tradition than what they've done or what they did last year. But I expect Mike Norvell to bounce back a tad bit. LSU, Clemson. My goodness, that's national title ramifications. No doubt about it. Notre Dame, Miami. Those are ramifications. Now, you're talking top 10 matchups. And why I bring that up and why it's intriguing to me, and I heard Coach Sarkisian say that he loves opening up the season with a formidable opponent. Why? Because it helps workouts in the offseason. It helps when you go in and you're working out and you're getting up at 5 o'clock, you're getting up at 4:30, you're doing mat drills, you're being accountable as players. You can actually put a name to a jersey. It's very, very different if you're going to play a Power 5 opponent, say, for instance, Texas playing Ohio State. That workout in the offseason, you have no time to say, I might miss this workout. I might miss this rep. Right. Why? Because the big boys are going to play on the August 30th. It's a big boy matchup. It's not that, when you get to practice into the third day of 2 days and it's hot and you want to play buddy ball, you're asking your teammate, let's go light today. Let's go light today. Why? Because we have Furman to open up the game, open up the season with, or we have Mercer to open up the season with. No disrespect to those teams, but you're going to be 30 to 35 point favorite, and Vegas is going to have those guys as underdogs, no doubt about it. Or do you want to have your intensified schedule in the summer? I remember, Stu, I don't know if you can remember all your openers, but I remember my openers. NC State was an opener. That's when I first got was named the starter. My first game on the road versus NC State. The next year, there was a Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And you best believe that entire offseason, all we thought about is Notre Dame, Boston College, and then Navy. So how you prepare in the offseason, I think, goes a long ways in how you're going to be set up for the beginning of the game in the season when the season starts. However, coaches also want to know, will that hurt me if I lose that game? That's the big question on the flip side. Will that hurt me if I lose that game? If I all of a sudden start off 0-1, how far are you going to drop me down? Is that opponent well enough to say you're not going to drop me because that opponent was big or tough? Or is it a mediocre, not top 10 team? What if it's not a top 10 team and you still lose because I went out on the limb and played a division or a Power 4 guy? Is that going to be problematic? Or are you going to reward me for scheduling a tough schedule? That's what I'm looking for early in the season.
Right. Several games that you just mentioned that are going to be absolutely huge games. I'm even excited about Nebraska, Cincinnati. I'm excited about Georgia Tech, Colorado. Alabama, Florida State is huge. Florida State still got a chip on their shoulder for being shat on last year. South Carolina and Virginia Tech's going to be a huge game.
Right.
How will Tennessee play? How will Tennessee play with Nico being at UCLA now? What's going to happen in North Carolina? Okay, Bill Belichick is coaching his first college football game. What's going to happen in North Carolina? So many storylines, Joe. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
I don't think when you're playing your first game and you're playing it versus, let's say, the Texas-Ohio State game, that's a huge game.
Yes, absolutely.
No matter who loses in that game, unless they get mollywopped and beat by 7 touchdowns, neither one of them will be hurt when it comes to having a chance to be one of the Final Four teams. Neither one of them will be hurt.
Correct.
So for the coaches that are now trying to schedule powder puffs for that first game to get that easy win, I think you're setting your team back and possibly setting them up for injury. You need to go ahead and get in the fight and get it started right now.
Yes, you do.
Opinion.
Yeah, and I would agree with that because in the long run, obviously, I like your point about not necessarily talking about Texas and Ohio State because they're going to get in. But what if you look at Tennessee and Syracuse? What if Syracuse was happening to beat Tennessee and compete in the ACC and be one of the finals or finalists to make the ACC championship game, and they sit at 17 or maybe 15 in the rankings? Remember, the rankings go top 14. You can still rank a little bit lower or not win your conference and still get in based on your rankings. So if you have one of those big wins in week 1 and you have an upset week in upset victory in week 1, that might bode well to when the end of the season they're counting up strength of schedule. And if you beat somebody on the road or your quarterback is now playing well, those things are going to bode very well as opposed to you trying to say I've won so many games, but 2 of those games are against non-Power 4 or cupcakes. That's not going to count as much, or they're not going to give you as much credit as they're going to give you if you are playing tough opponents, at least Power 4, because I don't mind at all Virginia Tech, South Carolina, because that's not in your conference. That's not a conference game, so it's not going to hurt you there. But it's a Power 5, Power 4 conference.
Again, just don't get mollywopped.
Just don't get mollywopped. Well,
yeah, because if you get mollywopped in that first game and you've got any kind of number coming into it, you're going to lose that number. You're going to lose that number 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces if you get mollywopped. If you compete, you stay relatively close to where you come into that game with your rating.
Well, do you believe at the end of the season, we can talk about this a little more, and we will talk about it a little more. Say, for instance, the LSU and Clemson matchup. That's 8th-ranked LSU, 7th-ranked Clemson. Does head-to-head matter when we get to December when we're scheduling? Say, for instance, they're going to reseed now. For everybody that don't know, when they finally get everybody that's supposed to win the conference champions and the 12-team playoffs, who should be in there, they're going to re-rank those guys. They're going to re-rank those guys or reseed those guys like we thought they should have done last year, as opposed to having Boise State number 4 and those guys that shouldn't have been as high. Should head-to-head matter then? Say for instance, the winner of the Clemson LSU, when they come down to seeding at the end of the season, should the winner of that game be given more kudos to the seeding?
They should. The winner of that game, LSU versus Clemson, should have a leg up at the end of the year over the team that lost. They should. It should matter at the end of the day.
See, that's where you go into a little discussion of playing better at the end of the season. How did it occur? How are your wins and losses? And I agree with you, but that still would be the naysayers saying about it's just the first game of the season. Are you going to punish me for something I did way in the beginning of the season, and now that was my only loss? Are you going to punish me for that?
In the other with Joe Ham, I'm your boy 1 Life 2 Ryan Stewart. We'll move from college football to the National Football League. Joe, I'm uncertain to your thoughts on it, but to me, the preseason games has never, ever been more irrelevant. Okay? Yes, they're probably more important to rookies or more important to guys that are bubble players, 54, 55, 56, 57 men on a roster to find a spot or a way into that roster. But the importance of the preseason is not what it used to be. They're doing less games than they used to, and starters are playing less and less more every year. My question to you, to play or sit players in the preseason? Give me your thoughts, sir.
Ooh, I play them. I played them, and you would understand this more than a lot of people. My heart goes up to those 45th to the 53rd person on the roster trying to make the roster, the special teams guys, the third strings, the where you're going to make your hay in those preseason games, because we know that really at least 32 players are already set of making teams. You're not looking for at least about 1 or 2 battles that is going to come down to. And how do you win those battles? You win those battles in preseason games. You win those battles in doing something against another opponent that everybody can see or everybody can get a film on. But as far as your starters do, it's very, very important for me to see them get reps. Very important. I don't know how you do that as an offensive coordinator to say you got the first series, and if you guys get a couple first downs or maybe get 3 points on the board or maybe score a touchdown, we're going to pull you out. We're just going to run these first just to get yourself acclimated to the speed of the game, so to speak. But most quarterbacks, I tell you firsthand, most quarterbacks do not want the first time they get hit or even touched. I'm not talking about a blindside knockout hit where you said, "Woo, now we're in the ball game," or now football has begun. I'm talking about just having to run, just having to feel a pocket with the intention or knowing the intention of a defensive lineman can tackle you. Most quarterbacks want to have one game or one series with that is live, and I agree with that. And I was also going and move you to joint practices. Joint practices are so important now. And what joint practices are is that when you say, when I was in Tampa Bay, we used to drive down to Miami and have joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. That's 3 days of one-on-ones.
Physically drive or y'all flew? You physically bust
drove
down there?
Yeah, bust down there. And went down there and practiced. One-on-one was against Miami. Inside drill against Miami. 9-on-7 against Miami. 7-on-7 against Miami. So now that's kind of making up for preseason games too. And while I agree with you, it's almost becoming irrelevant. But if you can have a great joint practice with guys not playing, I got you, but physicality, I think that takes the place a little bit of preseason, because you're getting bullets flying, you're getting the speed of the game. Guys are trying to make rosters and impress their teammates and their colleagues. So I think if you can get that to having a head coach relationship, that where they know the the speed or the intensity of practice. If this is thud, this is thud. There are never lives. Stay off my quarterback, and there are going to be fights. There are going to be fights
Well,
because
I was just about to ask you that, Joe. How do you feel about the skirmishes that tend to happen whenever they are inter-squad scrimmages, like you're speaking of right now? In Detroit, we had Carolina one year, Jacksonville one year, Carolina one year, Jacksonville one year, where one year we went and the next year they went. So there were a lot of skirmishes that took place during those inter-squad scrimmages. Give me your thoughts on the skirmishes.
They're going to be there. They're going to be there, and you have to accept them. And you know with more experience than I know, and I have had experiences with them, very seldom they carry off the field. Those guys are still, when the practice ends and they walk into their respective locker rooms or to take a shower, they're not running to the bus and trying to find somebody. I'm going to finish this fight off. It's usually bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, and it's done. And it's usually because somebody goes to the echo of the whistle. It's the echo of the whistle, and nobody's trying to stop. Everybody's trying to, compete and win a job. So I encourage that, and that's where it goes to the head coaches. Do they like each other? Are they setting the tone as far as holding their guys accountable? What type of tone this drill is? Is it thud? Is it tag off? Is it more than thud? Those things are going to make sure how you determine whether you have a physical team or not. That is the only way. And I take you back, and this is what I was thinking about, why I brought this subject up about to play or not to play, rust versus being ready to play, because there have been teams that went 5-0 in the preseason and then started the season off 0-6. There's been teams that went 0-6 in the preseason and then started the season off very, very hot. So there's no recipe to it. But if I'm Cincinnati and the Bengals, I'm going to have to find a way to see why my teams are starting off slow, to see why I'm constantly behind the 8 ball, 2-4, 1-4. In the first quarter of the season, which is 4 games, I'm 1-3. Why is that slow start? Is it because I'm not getting these guys really ready to play and elevated at the end of preseason and then starting back over? I have to revisit that if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals and some other teams.
In the huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, One Live student Ryan Stewart. So, Joe, where do you lie when it comes to rusty versus health for NFL players in game one?
I need my guys to play. I need my guys to play, Stu. It's just one thing about me going against or with you in one-on-ones, my wide receiver, my offensive line. I know that in 3 seconds that whistle is going to be blown. I know in about 4 seconds there's not going to be any extended plays. I know that sometimes you can play to the tempo of the drill. What about when the bullets fly? I want some all of a sudden move. And what I mean all of a sudden move, and I'm not pinpointing Brett Favre 2 years ago getting hurt with the New York Jets, a point of emphasis for what I'm about to say, but he made an all of a sudden move in the first game of his tenure with the Jets. I'm just wondering how many times he made an all of a sudden move in the entire preseason. And all of a sudden moves mean that if somebody's on me and I know he's about to hit me, I get out of the way just with reflexes. Being in that pocket in preseason, being in that pocket at practice and knowing you're not going to go down to the ground, you don't have to make an all of a sudden move. No, you don't. That's why when you see that Achilles go from Jason Tatum, that wasn't, a contact drill. That was an all of a sudden move. And I bet that his calf or his Achilles were hurting a little bit more. When you talk about Tyrese Halliburton, that was an all of a sudden move. So Brett Favre and quarterbacks, they want their all of a sudden move not just to be in the first game of the season. That's why I would play my quarterbacks. And listen, I'm not talking about playing them every game of the preseason. I'm not talking extended drives. I'm talking they know that you're going to play this series, and more likely than not, we're going to script it. We're not going to run boots and waggles. We're not going to put my quarterbacks in harm's way, but we want you to get a tad bit of the speed of the game before opening game.
Joe, are we facing a time where preseason is probably going to be abolished and no more?
No.
It's got to be thought about, Joe. I mean,
yes.
You got several players that's making $40 million or more per year. The majority of the quarterbacks, all the good ones, there's like 5 to 7 of them that's making $50 million or more. Are we about to see them say, we might do a few of these inter-squad scrimmages, but this preseason BS? No way. Or will the league say we need that revenue from the preseason to be a part of this thing? Give me your thoughts on that before we move on.
Ooh, that's a two-headed sword right there, Stu.
It is.
The league is going to want to play preseason games. The owners, they're going to want to play preseason games because the season ticket package that includes the preseason games. That's why when you ask some fans now, they're very disgruntled because you're charging the same price for a regular season game with my season ticket that I bought as you charge a preseason. And oh, by the way, I'm not seeing the star players. I'm not seeing the star cornerback. I'm not seeing the number one draft pick play and see what we drafted. So the fans are going to not want it. The owners are going to want it because of parking and the concessions and what they charge for it. But when you look at the grand scheme of things as a coach, all I really need to are the joint practices. That's all I really need because I can set the tone. I can make sure that I got the field goal unit. I can make sure I practice third down because I can communicate with the other coach. I can make sure I got 1st and 10. I can make sure I have a blitz period in that practice. Even though it's joint, I'm not going against my teammates. So I can say, hey, Coach Vrabel, this period I just want to run all 1st and 10. Or Coach Vrabel, the next period, which is the 9th period, let's work just 3rd and 8+. So we can set those things because, as you know, that you can go throughout the entire a game in preseason and not have to face a 4th and 1, or maybe not have to have a punt, a block or a punt fake, or not even have to try a field goal, right? So, but in these joint practices where the coaches can set the tip or set the situation, or even get in a 2-minute drill, which is big in the NFL right now. If I have a joint practice with the coach, I can say, Coach, we're going to run 2-minute drill. We're going to have 1 minute and 53 seconds left on the clock. You got 2 timeout. You at the -40. Let's work that. So I agree with you, and I would be on the side that the coaches and the GMs, they would want, or they would just say, hey, let's get these joint practices, make sure they are physical to where we can set the situational football. I think they're prepared for that. They'll like that. In the hood
with your boy Joe Ham on a beautiful Wednesday. I'm your boy, One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Quick reminder to remember to catch the 2 live stews tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We will be there. Joe, this is a throwaway topic. I didn't know if we were going to get to it today, but I'm going to throw it in there. And then before we get out of here at the top of the hour, we're going to try to get to a little bit of chat. You and I, Mike D, Vince Neely, Jamal Cox, maybe 1 or 2 other guys, used to meet in my basement during the summer when Madden football came out, and we would play 12 to 24 hours straight. Part A of the question is, do you still play Madden with such vigor like we used to in the past? And part B of the question is, the Madden 99 overall club has been revealed. After you answer the first question, let's talk about the names in the 99 club and if there were any names that shouldn't be on there or that should be on there that wasn't included in the 99 club. You still play Madden, Joe?
No, I do not. I have played it recently, probably 1 time in the last year and a half, 2 years. I did play NCAA 26 on the dad's trip to the summer camp or the football camp with my son. That was gratifying. Stu, but there's absolutely no way I can get back to the level that we used to play Madden. No way. You're right. We played. I mean, we played again. Hey, man, we played random, 21-point rule, 21 chunk. We played.
Hold on, Joe. Some people don't understand that. Some people don't understand that. The random. We wouldn't like for people to pick the best teams on the game. And if 2 people wanted the same team, what's fair? So we started making people play random, and you get to do 2 randoms and choose one of the 2 teams to play with. I don't want to hear you fussing and moaning. If you get 2 terrible teams, coach them up. Coach them up.
Coach them up. But well, we said that. If
you lose, you're going to have to sit and wait another 2 to 3 hours to get back on because there's a room full of people. So whoever you get, you got to coach them up. Joe, the 99 overall club revealed this year is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Josh Allen.
Thumbs up.
Jamar Chase.
Thumbs up.
Justin Jefferson.
Thumbs up.
Lane Johnson.
Thumbs up.
Let's talk about that.
Best right tackle in the league. Been an all-pro for the last 4 or 5 years. No weaknesses at a right tackle at all. Sure shot, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Myles Garrett.
No doubt.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely
So you agree?
no doubt.
You agree with everybody on the 99 list?
Everybody.
How about some people on that list how about the people that didn't make that list that you think deserve 99? Any names to add to that list?
Well, I just question whether or why the defensive player of the year is not a 99. And a lot of people would know right off the top of their head who it is, and that's Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain, defensive back for the Broncos. I'm kind of wondering.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm kind of wondering, and not just because of his skill set, man, that's the defensive player of the year. I mean, the reigning defensive player of the year.
Right.
And I question whether Pat Mahomes should be on there or not. His team only lost 1 game.
See,
and I understand when you put up the stats.
A lot of people, when they hear 99, they automatically think of speed.
See, that's no. They got categories:
Right.
awareness, pocket
Right.
awareness,
Right.
arm strength. You know
Strength,
this.
right.
Agility, mobility. They have a lot of different things they weigh into that. And if you weigh up there, then that's what they're going to rate you as. But this is what I love about it, Stu. And this is what the players love about the 99 Club these days, where it's different than when we used to play. When you started off, when we used to play, if you were in 98, 96, 97, that didn't change by October. That didn't change in November when that guy was playing well or that guy wasn't playing as well. But now in 2025,
They got updates.
Yes, immediate updates. I think it's every month or every quarter there are
Right.
updates. So if you're not in the 99 now, maybe you will get into the 99.
Okay.
And if you're
Patrick
in the 99 now, you might not be in it later on.
Patrick Surtain, DB, Defensive Player of the Year last year. Great call, Joe. Joe, what about Michael Parsons? You're a Cowboy fan. How come Michael wouldn't have a 99?
Injured the first half of the season, I think.
Okay.
Injured, and he only gave you in last year, I think 8 games. I'm thinking that has to do with it, and as well as TJ Watt.
And again, he can work his way into that 99 club when they do the update. How come Tyreek Hill doesn't have a 99, Joe?
No, he's not just having 99 because I don't want to water down the wide receiving group. And Tyreek Hill has taken a step back to me. He's probably a 97, 98, but his route running ability is not up there with Chase and Jefferson. It's just not. Now, his explosiveness, his speed.
Well, I was about to say, but the explosiveness and the speed and to take the top off the defense is better than Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah, but his route running drops off. You have to be overall 99.
Okay.
That's what it is. I tell you another one I'm surprised about now is
right.
Burrow. Burrow. What happened with Burrow? Why is he not up there? I could make a case for him. I understand. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't understand why he's not.
Well, while you're talking about quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes has to be in the 99 club. He has to be. Yeah, he had a little down year last year, even though his team won, 13, 14 games while they were down. Yeah, he played in the Super Bowl and didn't have his best appearance. I still think he should be in the 99 club. But go ahead back to Joe Burrow, Joe.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. If 99 is a quarterback that you want superior to at least 90% of the quarterbacks in the NFL, he's a 99. Joe Burrow right now is a 99 overall. No doubt about it.
I got one more for you. Jahmyr Gibbs.
No, you're thinking about speed. You're just thinking about speed and elusiveness.
No, Joe, I'm thinking about overall back, the abilities that he has out of that backfield to catch passes. He's a blocking back. He's got speed. He's shifty. I mean, he might be small in stature, but Joe, he's one of the best backs in the game. I think if I had to choose between him and Bijan, I'm taking him over Bijan.
I am too. I am as well.
No 99 for him?
Ooh.
Something to think about. We'll read a couple of these chats, man, before we get out here. We appreciate y'all for creating the chat. Our man Millhouse needs something to get me through the day. Thank you for joining us, Millhouse. We appreciate that. We'll be here for you whenever you need us, player. Cousin Fly Ty, man, I remember them days when I was coaching a couple of teams at the same time. And that's why I love Little League so much, man. You got fathers that work 8, 10, 12 hours, and they come home after work this time of year, and they coach not one, but 2 teams. Shouts out to you, Fly Tie.
But I think Fly Tie was talking about Madden.
No, I don't think he was talking about Madden. I
Oh,
think
okay,
he was talking
okay.
It was very possible. Keith Spellman, yo, Ryan, 2-time platinum Crenshaw, tapping in. What up, Crenshaw? Appreciate you, man. My son, dual degree major at Georgia Tech and Morehouse.
He set
revealed
up
a scholarship from the Bros last Saturday. International headquarters. Shouts out to you, Crenshaw. Those scholarships go to great kids, so that means you have one. Congratulations, Keith. That's what's up. That's dope. Let's see. E-Player J. I have the utmost respect for Prime. I truly thought he was going to go left and walk away and be like all the other coaches that chase the dollar. In this case, just be there for his sons. Shouts out to you, E-Player J.
Woo!
Couple more.
Woo!
Jungle Brother 8923. Coach Prime chose Eugene Parker for his agent, a brother coming out of Florida State. Quick story, Jungle Brother. I too, out of college, chose Eugene Parker as my agent. And Eugene Parker every year does a rookie symposium where he goes to a big city, has all of his players come, and has a select few of his veteran players come to talk to the rookies. My rookie year, we went to Vegas. And let me mention this too. Rest in peace to the great Eugene Parker, because he's no longer here. Okay? Well, he had all of his rookies go to Vegas. We had a symposium there, had a great time. He had things scheduled for us. The first player to come and talk to us was supposed to be there for 30 minutes, but spent 2 hours. I'm going to have you guess who it was, Joe.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders. Scheduled for 30, ended up spending 2 hours, and I learned several things in that meeting with Eugene and Deion. Do you know that Eugene Parker told us the big deal that Deion got in Dallas and the big deal that Deion got in San Francisco, that Eugene really didn't even negotiate it? That those numbers and the way that deal was broken down came from Deion himself. So he hired Eugene and said, hey, look, here's what I want you to do. Told Eugene how he wanted him to break the deal down, how he wanted to get paid, when and where, blah, blah, blah. So Eugene said he was blessed to have Deion as a client because he was one of the few clients that he didn't have to work for. Deion, in essence, negotiated his own deal.
Doesn't surprise me.
D Chuck 4459, Coach Prime basically set the blueprint for former players to get head coaching jobs. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Preach, Ryan, regarding how Coach Prime raised his kids. Yeah, man, I highlight the black father every chance that I get. A lot of good week 1 matchups, no question. Another one from Jungle Brother. It's best to lose in August instead of November. Agreed. However, because of the way that things are done now, you can still lose in November and still be around them top teams to get a chance to play.
Especially because conference champions play a huge part. You win that, you win.
Will Penn State head coach be on the hot seat this season? That's from DJ Chuck 4459. James Franklin, what do you think about James Franklin, Joe?
Only if you're thinking about Penn State being national championship or bust.
Okay.
If you're thinking about that, like Ryan Day, he's on the hot seat. But I don't think any Penn State fan is thinking about hot seat or bust. And I do think Penn State will be in the final running for the championship, no doubt. Very good.
Great and Kev, I think one of those teams can lose big because they are both ranked. They're in good conferences and have an opportunity to recover to still make the playoffs. I agree. And here's the last one that we'll read today. Jungle Brother 8923. Chuck, the loser of the LSU versus Clemson game, going to be on the hot seat, especially Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is on the hot seat. I agree. Penn State haven't won 10 games in 3 years in a row since Joe Powell was there. Franklin ain't going nowhere. I agree with that one as well. Thank y'all for the super chat, because we did get 1 or 2. Thank y'all for the messages. We appreciate y'all. Younger brother also said, rest in peace, Eugene Parker. Yeah, that one set me back. Eugene was an awesome agent, awesome man, led with conviction, wanted what was best for his players. I'll never forget every day I held out I would speak to Eugene. I had like a 4-day holdout before I got to Detroit. Every day I would talk to Eugene, and I'd be like, "Hey man, can I go back in today?" And he'd be like, "Nah, not yet. But remember, you're the boss. So if you want to go, you can. I can't do nothing about that." We had that conversation every day for 4 days. And on the 5th day, he called me like, "Hey man, guess what? You get to go back in." I'm like, "Oh, that's great, man. I'm on the way right now." I said, "Well, I forgot to ask him how the deal go." "Well, Eugene, how'd the deal go?" "Well, you're in the middle of the 3rd round, but you got the highest signing bonus in the entire 3rd round." Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, man. But just an amazing man. So rest in peace to the great Eugene Parker. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. A+. Appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all please continue to pass the word. Don't forget about the 2 Live Stews tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Every Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. You can also view us on SME, Stewart Media and Entertainment on YouTube whenever you have time. The shows will be there for you. A lot of great programming coming on SME. Things are really coming together. Some big things popping with news that we're going to share with you guys all shortly. Joe, outstanding job, man. Thank you.
Great stuff, man. Tomorrow's the first game, man. I don't know how much I'm going to watch, but football is back. The Hall of Fame game is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, man. Amazing, man.
Outstanding job, man.
Absolutely amazing, man. Peace and blessings, dog. We appreciate y'all for being here. We talk soon, Joe.
Yes, sir.